Greetings, my name is Michael Speth, and I am the organizer and lead maintainer of Nautdrafter. Nautdrafter allows you to select your knots based on picks and bans prior to playing the game Awesomenauts. It's very similar to how Dota 2's Captain's Choice works. This video is geared towards the Australian League team captains. I'll demonstrate how to install Nautdrafter, how to set up a server, and how Nautdrafter basically works. So please sit back, watch the video, install Nautdrafter along with me if you like, and at the end of the video, if you have questions, just feel free to contact me. I'll give you my contact details below. Thanks. This section shows you how to install Nautdrafter. So first you need to download Nautdrafter. Go to the nautdrafter.bitbucket.org/Nautdrafter webpage. From here, click on the big download button. Depending on your operating system, it should find your correct operating system. So I'm Linux, so I click on either 64-bit or 32-bit installation. I'm 64-bit, so I would click on this button. If you're Windows, choose 64-bit or 32-bit. And of course, Mac, you just choose one. So once you've downloaded Nautdrafter, double-click on the installer. It's either an exe or DMG or a .run if you're Linux. Go through the menus. So these are pretty self-explanatory. Click forward, accept the license. It's a GPL. Choose a destination, and then click forward, and it will automatically install. I won't go through that process because I already have it installed. This section describes how to launch Nautdrafter and how to set up a server. So in Ubuntu, you can type Nautdrafter and click on the Nautdrafter icon and dash, or you can double click on the icon if you've created a desktop icon for it. In Windows, I think there may be a desktop icon, or it could be in the start menu, and I'm not sure about Mac. But if you have problems locating Nautdrafter, please let me know. So click on Login as Player. This will prompt you for your Steam credentials. So please use your Steam username and password. This goes through the Steam API. It's very secure. It's just like you're logging into the Steam webpage. The reason you want to use your Steam ID is so that other players know who you are. So your player name will be the same as what your name is in Awesomenauts. So that will help you. That will help you know who's on your team and who's not going to be on your team. So here we have the server browser. Currently there are no servers running, so we need to create one. So click on the Host New Game button, I should say. So here we have our server details. I'm going to bring up rules that I just created that you guys can follow. I'll post them online. So the first thing is who creates the server, because you only have one server for each draft, and that will be Team 1. So whoever's playing, the name that's listed first will be the host. The team captain will need to host, or someone on the team needs to host. I recommend it being the team captain. Doesn't have to be, but it needs to be Team 1. And the reason for that is the first map on the first game is random, so we leave that to random. So enter in the server name. All server names should have ANAL, which is the acronym for the Awesomenauts Australian League. And then proceeding with Team 1 hyphen Team 2. Team 2. Or we can do verse. Do verse. Looks better. So password, you can decide to put one on or not. You probably don't need it. I don't think you're going to have other people joining your games. But if you want to put a password, put a password and make sure that all of the teammates know, all of your teammates, so team 1 needs to know the password, team 2 needs to know the password. Here, it may be helpful for you to tell what match it is. So if it's the first match, put match 1. If it's the second match, put match 2, and so forth. The next bit is server port forwarding. If you leave this blank, then it will use the UPnP, which you need to have configured on your router. Oh, what does that mean? Okay, so let's just go to the help. I did that by you can rewatch the video, but I clicked on the help button. And it should be going to the help page. Huh. Waiting. Okay, I don't know why it took so long, but anyways, it will bring up the help page eventually. So what we want to look at in the help is how to use a server configuration screen. So this has all of the details that I was just talking about. And I believe it should have this one. So what you want to do is click on hosting a draft session if you need help with the UPnP. So this describes what Universal Plug and Play does. Most routers have this setting on by default. But if your computer is directly connected into your modem, for instance, if you're on a DSL modem, then the UPnP won't work. So you'll have to do something different. Hopefully you have UPnP set up so that you don't have to do anything. You just click on the Create Server button. If you have problems with UPnP, maybe your router doesn't support it, then you need to use port forwarding. And currently my router doesn't have port forwarding. I don't have that set up on it. So I went through and set a static port forward to my computer. And this describes how to do that. If you guys have trouble with UPnP, it doesn't work for you, just please let me know, and we can arrange a time and I can help you set that up. But try the documentation first. So my port is 45678, I think. So the next thing we'll do is the drafting order. And there are two defaults that I added, one for round 1, one for round X. So we're on, you can say round 1, match 1, doesn't matter. So round 1, the picking order is red, which is team 1. Red picks first, then blue picks, then blue picks, then red picks, then red picks, then blue picks. It's set these things up as well. So the band type is bidirectional, meaning if we were to do round 2 or round 3 or round 4, you would select this one. And so we have bands first, and bands applied to both the banning team and the opponents. We'll talk about that in a minute. The first round, there's no bands, it's just picks. And you click on random, and then you click on create server. So once you've created the server, it should be displayed in the server browser. There are a number of ways to connect to the server. If you're not the host, just click on the server and click join game. This is if you're a player. If you're a caster, join as spectator. So click on the join as spectator box. If you're hosting the game, the safest way to join your own server that is guaranteed to work is to click on the menu, click on hosted servers. Those are the servers that you host directly, and then click on the server you want to join. Click on the join server box, and then click join as player. If you happen to be a caster and you're hosting the game on behalf of the teams, then you would click join as spectator. But you shouldn't. Casters should be connecting to other servers. The other interesting bit about this is shows you the map the server is currently using, so random, which is not selected, by the way. So what I mean is you won't find out what the map is until you join Awesomenauts. That's why it's random. And there's no players, shows you who's connected, and other information, drafting details and stuff. So click join as player. So once you've connected to the server, whether you're red team player, blue team player, or spectator, you'll see this screen. So if you're a team captain, click on the captain. Also put your team name in, so just double click and write Team Awesome or whatever your team name is. If you accidentally select captain, just click on crew if you're not the actual captain. So captain has the right to change the name. If you're the captain, click on it. You guys are teammates. Don't screw with each other. Just let the captain pick the captain. Otherwise, if there is conflict, I don't think there will be, but whoever has the highest Awesomenaut ranking will get captain seat if there's some conflict over if you're fighting who's the captain. So anyways, you guys can sort that out. So I'm going to go ahead, because I've set up a bunch of these. So other players, just click on crew, and I think this is blue 1, so blue 1 is the captain, that one, and blue 2, that. So once you're happy with all the players, then click when you're ready, click here. So that means the blue team is ready. All the players are ready. And then the red team also has to click. Once you click that button, then it actually starts the draft. So make sure that you have an idea of what you're going to do in terms of strategy, because the drafting is timed. You have a time limit on picking your knots. So click when ready. Now you come into this screen. This shows you red team is first pick. You have 30 seconds to make your pick. You have a reserve time, so if you end up going over that 30 seconds, maybe it's a tough choice, then you have 2 minutes to dip into. I think we currently have it set so that if you run out of time, if you go past the reserve, then it randomly selects. Ooh. Oh man, something happened with Scoop. That needs to be fixed. Anyways, that should be a Scoop icon. I just noticed that's a bug. I'll have that fixed by the tournament. Anyways, we have this reserve. We've gone into our reserve time, so let's go ahead and select Leon. So I've selected Leon. He's got some information, and I go pick. So Leon's been picked. Now it's blue team's turn. So I go over to team captain 1. We'll pick, say, Durple. And I'll just go here. This is the spectator mode. So it's pretty cool, huh? It's showing how much time blue has left and who's the order of picks. So really handy for casters. Go ahead and blue turn. Sorry. Voltar. Leon. Who's good with Leon? We'll have a pusher. Red pick. And clunk. So now red team's made all of his selections. It is blue team's last one. And maybe they will do a Skoldair. Now we're at the point where you need to select your nod. So everyone participates in this. Team captain always gets priority, but you can select who you want to be. So team captain, I will be Voltar as team captain. Your other people need to select. So basically the blue team has selected who's going to be which knot. Now it's red team's turn. So I'm just, sorry. This. And we're ready. So everyone now sees the spectator view, which is which knots have been picked and what players are assigned to the knots. So at this point, you go ahead and launch Awesomenauts and create a game and join the game and pick those knots. There's no integration yet with Nautdrafter and Awesomenauts, so it can't force you to select these knots. But obviously you'll be disqualified if you change your knot when you connect to the real server. So so whoever's hosting the draft is also going to be the host on the server. So once you load up Awesomenauts, do a create game, a battle, and add in all of the players. We really need a better integration, but that's not for this video. So that's about it. You can choose to keep this up, or you can click on leave game. If you're the server host, or if you're a spectator, you can also, I think it's this. You can export drafting summary. So you can do an HTML snippet, Markdown, BB code, or plain text. You can save it off. There was copy to clipboard, but I don't see that. I have to look at that. Anyways, you can save it to a file. I may have reverted a change there, so I have to ask. Anyways, you can save it off in any of these formats. Alright. Well, again, if you have any comments or questions, please let me know. Hopefully this video was helpful, and you'll be the first tournament in Awesomenaut history to use Nautdrafter, which is pretty cool. Alright, thanks.